All right. Hi all together. Thank you very much for having me here. My name is Fabian Hedigger. Thank you very much. And I work for Bitcoin Swiss. We are a Swiss regulated Bitcoin broker. And I will talk a little bit about Bitcoin business in Switzerland and also how the Swiss regulation is towards Bitcoin. So first about Bitcoin in Switzerland. What is Crypto Valley? There are many companies in the same canton in Switzerland, and I will talk a little bit about that and the city of Zug, which is the first government institute which accepts Bitcoin for payments. Then Bitcoin regulation in Switzerland. How are the regulators, and we have approach towards regulation which is quite good for Bitcoin, and how the KYC process is in Switzerland, and how Bitcoin Swiss developed as a regulated financial intermediary, our business fields, our brokerage and trading, and I will talk a little bit about our Bitcoin ATM network in Switzerland. So Switzerland is a very stable and independent country, which has very friendly business regulation, and also on taxes it's excellent for company taxes and also income taxes for private individuals. So, and the canton of Zug, so we have 26 cantons in Switzerland, and the canton of Zug positioned themselves as a Bitcoin friendly canton and attracted a lot of different, for example, Xapo, Monetas, Shapeshift, and the Ethereum Foundation did their crowd sale there. So they got 18 million US dollar worth of Bitcoin when they did the pre-sale of Ether. And that was all done, all the regulation and all the programming for the was done in the canton of Zug. And our company is also located in Zug, and then we formed a Digital Finance Compliance Association. It's an association which works together with lawyers and with the regulators to make it as business friendly as possible here in Zug. So Zug made an announcement that they want to position them as Bitcoin friendly, and their mayor, which you see in the bottom, said he wants to run a pilot project where they accept Swiss francs, and then the citizen can now pay public services. Not all, for example, taxes can't be paid in Bitcoin, they use a payment gateway where they immediately convert the Bitcoins into Swiss francs. Hence, they don't have a currency risk, and that was a very good decision because first day after they announced that they will accept Bitcoin, the political party, the most influential political party with about 30% of voters, wrote a letter to the city and wrote, how do you hedge against currency risk with Bitcoin? Is Zug now speculating with Bitcoin, and what is this crazy currency? And all the answers could be answered very well because they don't run any currency risk. They only have with our company because we are the payment gateway provider. So we provide the software and the exchange, but the settlement is every week. So, and the amounts in the pilot project are rather small. So in Switzerland we have a kind of decentralized approach towards regulation. So there are different institutions which regulate business. So banks need a banking license, and credit card providers are directly below the financial market authorities. And we have so-called self-regulatory organizations. And when Bitcoin was in Switzerland, the Wild West until 2014, and in 2014 the Swiss government said all the people professionally engaged in Bitcoin, they have to be regulated by those SROs, SROs. And there are 10 different SROs, and the advantages of these SROs are that they're local, so our regulators are like 5 minutes by car away from us. We can call them if we have a problem. They call us if there are changes in regulation, and the responses are always extremely fast. And there is also competition between those SROs, and only the SROs gets the business from the companies, which is fast, which does good regulations, and that's really good for business. One disadvantage is that the SROs are paid by their members, and that's rather expensive. Yeah, we have no reporting required Bitcoin. We have to store their documents, but we don't have to submit it anywhere. And once a year, the regulators come by, an auditor, and he checks our files. Did we do the KYC process correctly? What kind of people we are engaged in business with them? But they are not allowed to take any information out of our office. And only if there is a criminal investigation, we can be asked to reveal information about our clients. So here I detailed a little bit how the KYC process is. I just converted to US dollar, normally it's Swiss francs. So below 5,000 Swiss franc US dollar, we don't need any KYC from our clients. And above 5,000 US dollar, we need ID, passport, selfie, Form A. That's Form A is that beneficial, so that the money the person who gives us the money, that the money belongs to them. And yeah, it's only for bilateral trades, and that's quite interesting because the regulators just took the anti-money laundering laws and then applied it to Bitcoin, but that doesn't work really. And so a bilateral trade is if I don't send the Bitcoins to you, but if I give you the private key of the Bitcoins, and then it's bilateral. Else the requirements are like below, where you have to provide ID already when you buy for 10 Swiss francs Bitcoin. So Bitcoin Swiss became regulated in 2014, and when the government said, yeah, all Swiss Bitcoin businesses have to be regulated, and banking industry is very hostile towards Bitcoin and blockchain business. So often bank wires from us to normal companies in Switzerland are blocked by the banks, and then we have to explain, and it's really hard to work with Swiss banks, and it's impossible to open up a banking relationship with them currently. And they say that Bitcoin is compliance-wise very difficult to handle, so we run all our business over banks in Liechtenstein. On the one side, we have a brokerage and asset management. There we handle the cryptocurrency of very high net individuals who want to invest in Bitcoin and Ether. That's the two most currency where we do the most business. And then training and seminars for Swiss banks, for Swiss regulators, for Swiss reinsurance, for insurance companies. 6 Bitcoin ATMs. Yeah, the 6 Bitcoin ATMs are all over Switzerland, in central Switzerland, Bern, north, and they do about a turnover of $250,000 per month. And there you are able to buy and sell your Bitcoins against Swiss francs and euros. And so you insert Swiss franc cash or euro cash, and you get out the Bitcoin instantly on a paper wallet where the private key is printed on it. And for Swiss compliance, there are no KYC needed for that, for amounts below 5,000 Swiss francs. And soon we will also have Ether implemented. Yeah, that's planned in the next few months, but the private key import is there a little bit difficult. for the moment. Yeah, that was the presentation. Do you have any questions?
How does an AML audit look like in a little bit more detail?
Okay, the first AML audit was that an auditor came into our office and said he would like to see our different customer files, and we had to prepare some overviews. So, for example, which clients did the highest turnovers and from which countries they are, and then the auditor looked into, mostly from exotic countries like Seychelles or Russia, and then they checked if we did everything all right, if we have like the business profile, where is the money from, why does a Russian guy have $1 million in a Swiss bank account, stuff like this. And then they check everything. The first time it took 2 days, and auditor cost $400 per hour, so that was expensive thing. And the second time, then it took only 1 day.
Could you please clarify, is the activity of exchanging of bitcoins is licensed? I mean, directly. Okay. And the second question, please, about how did you ended up with 25,000 US dollars per month of capital? How did you get to know all the amount of people about your product? The Bitcoin exchange.
Can you repeat the first question?
It was about licensing, and it was about licensing. I was wondering if this activity is licensed like banking activity.
We are a regulated financial intermediary, so we are licensed by a SRO, is it called, the self-regulatory organization, and they check if we do our things correctly. And the second question, sorry.
And the second question, I mean, you have a very huge capital per month. And how did you ended up with this amount? I mean, how did you get to be recognized in the society? How did you tell people about bitcoins? I mean,
it was very demand driven. So first we just opened up a company and had a phone and looked what our clients want to do. And some of them want advice for Bitcoin, blockchain, Ether, and some want to buy and sell, and so we offer and selling. And we always do honest business with low margins, and we are one of the only companies in Europe where you can trade really large amounts in a fast time period. And so we got known for that. We got trust from private individuals, from institutions, and also there is a lot of Bitcoin and blockchain business in Zug themselves, and most of the companies use our service, and they have respectable turnovers.
Hello, my question is, if I make business in Bitcoin, how do I pay taxes?
In Switzerland, we just pay taxes on the profits, and we have to pay the taxes in Swiss francs. Unfortunately, they don't accept that we pay in Bitcoin, but that's the next step.